Alright, so this is just for the Crusaders, sort of explaining our new supply system. I'm doing this in the middle of my Baltic state. I started as Latvia, but the supply stuff. I believe this number, it's the supply used essentially, or the supply remaining. So that 1 out of 20 is like, oh, 1 of 20 is like used or needed out of that limit. Um, what you want to do to avoid as much micromanagement as possible and automate as much of this as possible is on your army, you want that motorization priority to be increased. For that to work, you need to produce more trucks here, and the more trucks you increase that, so if you make that 3 instead of 2, the longer that range will be effective from a railway or a trade hub. The trade hubs can do that themselves, like you can say, oh, do that there, but putting it on the army makes it most efficiently spread that out. For the railways, when you ask the troops to travel along those, they move fastest. That's the control B. And you can see when you hover over or click on these hubs, the path that supply will take from the capital hub to get to that station. If you're having supply issues in any area, don't worry too much about like finding, okay, where's the individual railroad that I need to like manage. Just click on the nearest hub or the hub that's supplying those troops, and click upgrade railways. What that does, if you look at my queue, it has now automatically queued up all railways from that hub to the capital to increase them to the same level, removing any bottlenecks you might have. So say, for example, in the Soviet Union, I was running low on supply over here near Manchuria and Vladivostok. I would click on Vladivostok and I would click the upgrade railways first because there are a few level 1 railways that are preventing proper supply and creating bottlenecks on their way to Vladivostok. So you'd want to remove those. Creating a trade hub is more expensive than a factory, so ideally you will do it as little as possible. You do not have to connect the hubs and like to every single one and remove all those little things. That basically just prevents your supply from getting cut off the most. So I have been in the habit of connecting sort of along borders, so if there's any kind of breakthrough, they can still get supply coming from one to the other, or it can still go around. Ports can also do supply for your troops, but that is still a sort of path that comes out from the capital. Starting as Latvia, this was not connected to the capital by railway because those go through here. So there was a path through the water. Taking Lithuania connects it, so there's no purpose in increasing railways around here. But yeah, make sure you build trucks and on armies that are important and are probably going to be moving through low supply areas. Increase their motorization's priority. Also, watch out for the speed on those trucks. This will really not matter too much for supply, but when designing tanks, the tank division is only going to move as fast as the truck in it, so that is sort of a soft cap on your design capabilities. This first truck is going to move at 12 kilometers an hour. Armored cars are much slower. The more you upgrade them, the faster they get, so 15 kilometers an hour for the max armored car, that's really good. Those Amtraks are only going to have 10, and third mechanized is as fast as the first truck, but these others are slower. So until you have Mech 3, stick with motorized for your tank divisions unless you want to use armored cars instead, but those would be not as effective. Yeah, that's the main thing I can think of with supply, and I just wanted to record this so that I can share this and not have to explain it again.